You've now worked through the full progression of Urban Forestry, 80 podcasts, 4 domains, dozens of concepts. But here's the reality. Passing the exam, and more importantly, applying this knowledge in the real world, is not about remembering isolated facts. It's about integration. So today, we're going to shift from learning to mastery. Let's start with the most important idea of this entire series. Urban forestry is a system. Every question on the exam and every decision in the field comes back to this. Not just, what is this concept? But, how does this concept connect to everything else? Now let's walk through that system one more time. Domain 1. Urban forest management. This is your foundation. You should be able to think like a program manager, not just a tree worker. You understand canopy, inventories, GIS, species diversity, age distribution, and ecosystem services. If you see a question about canopy gaps, uneven age structure, over-reliance on one species, you should immediately think, this is a system imbalance problem. And the solution will involve planning, diversity, and long-term management. Domain 2. Arboricultural practices. This is where decisions hit the ground. You should be able to think like an arborist. You understand. Planting establishment pruning risks soil roots pests removal. If you see a question about a declining tree, a structural defect, a planting failure, you should think, what stage of the tree life cycle am I in? And what is the most appropriate intervention? Domain 3. Communication and public engagement. This is where many people struggle on the exam, because the answers are not always technical. They are human. You should understand stakeholders' conflict, public perception, education communication strategies. If you see a question about a resident complaint, public opposition, a controversial removal, the correct answer is often not the most technical one. It's the one that includes clear communication, listening transparency. Domain 4. Administration, policy, and planning. This is the system-level thinking domain. You should understand program structure, policy development, funding planning coordination. If you see a question about program goals, budget decisions, policy implementation, you should think, how does this decision affect the entire program? The most important exam skill? Let's simplify everything into one rule. Always zoom out. When you read a question, ask, what level is this question operating at? Tree level? Population level? Program level? Community level? Most wrong answers come from choosing the right concept at the wrong level. Common exam traps. Here are patterns to watch for. Choosing removal too quickly, forgetting long-term impacts, ignoring stakeholder considerations, overlooking species diversity, focusing on short-term fixes instead of system solutions. How to think like a top candidate. Top candidates don't memorize. They recognize patterns. They connect ideas. They think in systems. When you see a question, your brain should move like this. What is the problem? What domain does it belong to? What is the root cause? What is the best long-term solution? At this point, you're no longer just studying. You're thinking like an urban forest professional. You understand that. Trees are infrastructure. Management is long-term. Decisions have ripple effects. People are part of the system. This is the transition point. From learning to applying. From information to judgment. And from student to professional. Because the goal was never just to pass an exam. It was to understand how to care for a living system that exists inside one of the most complex environments we've ever created. The city. And now, you're ready to manage it. You've been listening to the Arborist-podcast. Our goal is to grow our collective knowledge, one domain at a time. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, share, and subscribe to help us keep this momentum. Until next time, let's keep growing this community together.